This right here is the new Harley-Davidson Street 750. Now, this right here is a pre-production unit. We've only got a couple hours to ride on it, so we've decided to jump on it, take it over to Two Brothers Racing, put it on the dyno, see how it does on the dyno, and then get some street time on it just to get a quick impression of what this new motorcycle is going to be like. This is the first new Harley-Davidson model in 13 years. Now, I mean, there's been other models that have been variations on different designs, Dynas and Sportsters and Glides and all that, but this is the actual first one that's new from the ground up in over a decade. So it's a pretty important model for Harley, so we're gonna go check it out, see how it does. Well, we just got done running this thing on Two Brothers dyno, and it put out almost 53 horsepower, 52.85 horsepower, and 39.39 foot-pounds of torque. That's pretty good for a 750 twin, and on the street, you can feel it. It's definitely a different feeling than a big twin, for sure. The 750, the engine itself, it feels pretty good. It's got good horsepower. It's not a super torquey motor. It's got a real flat torque curve, so it's easy to ride, I guess. It builds and then it's just kind of flat. So for around town and cruising, it's perfect. Long trips and things like that, where you're going up in the mountains and stuff, it's going to be less exciting. Seating position on it is really compact, more compact than this bike looks. This bike looks decently big. Sitting on it, it feels small. It feels really small. Foot pegs feel kind of high, seat's kind of low, the bars are kind of back in towards you, so you're in this real compact crouched position, but it gives you a lot of control. You can really move the bike around and it makes it feel really small. So I mean, that right there is gonna catch a lot of younger riders and newer riders for sure, because it's really easy to handle. They got that part down pat. So this thing is a pre-production. We don't know what'll change from this model till the production model, which is coming out fairly soon. But right now, the brakes are, they're not so great. They take a lot of pressure from your hands. I mean, it's a 2-finger brake. You gotta really lean on it, especially in a sort of a panic stop situation, which you run into a lot when you're riding around urban areas. You know, it's a skinny front tire, so I'm sure they back the power down on the brakes a bit for that reason, but I think it could use some more. Switch gear on it looks nice. It's fairly simple to use. Everything's easy to reach with your hands, so I don't see any problem with small hands in terms of, you know, hitting the turn signal or the horn or the starter or the high-low beams. All that stuff's gonna work really well. But the clutch itself doesn't really engage until it's kind of far out there, so I think smaller hands might struggle a little bit with letting the clutch out. But once you get used to it, it's fine. It's just when you first hop on it, it feels a little awkward. In the corners, it actually corners really well. Much better than I'd expect for a skinnier front tire and a fatter rear tire type bike. It's got plenty of ground clearance. I only dragged the foot peg one time when I was really trying to do it, rather than just riding. So I think in terms of cornering clearance, it's really good. And how could it not be? The pegs are up really high. But I think the coolest thing about it probably is the look. You know, it's part of the dark series of bikes, you know, like the 42, the 72, and the Iron 883. It's got that same family look. You know, it's got the gaiters on the fork, it's got the little cowl on the front. It's just, it's got a cool look to it, even though it's a smaller bike. It definitely fits in the Harley niche. You're still not gonna mistake it for anything else. So really, I think it's a great first Harley-Davidson if you're looking for one. It handles well, it's easy to use, it feels light, and eventually you'll outgrow it and you'll move to something bigger in the Harley lineup. And I think that's what this bike is all about, is grabbing new Harley customers, getting them in the line early, and then holding on to them for life. And this right here is gonna start that for a lot of people. At the price point it is, somewhere around 7,500 bucks, they're gonna sell a ton of them. For the money, it's a great bike.